Hi, I'm Johnathan Pritchett. I am the Vice President of Academic Affairs at Trinity College of the Bible and Theological Seminary, where I'm also a professor. And I am also the co host of the Trinity Radio podcast, along with my friend and boss at the seminary, Braxton Hunter. And this video is for our new channel that we've launched, Theology Geek Fitness. This is a fitness channel for theology geeks. It is not a theology channel for fitness geeks. If you would like to get some more in-depth podcasts on theology, apologetics, biblical studies, philosophy, things like that, I want to encourage you to check out our channel, Trinity Radio. You can just search for that on YouTube, or you can go to youtube.com/Braxton Hunter. And we also have a second channel, Trinity Radio Extra, as well. And some of the other contributors of this channel have YouTube channels of their own that deal with these similar subjects. But we've kind of joined together to start this channel, Theology Geek Fitness. One of the reasons why is because we're all trying to be healthy. We're trying to get in better shape. We're trying to promote health, wellness, nutrition, physical fitness, and so forth among the theology geek community. And whoever else wants to get involved and follow along with us as we go through what we like to do. We'll do some workout videos. We're going to do some nutrition videos, do some product review videos, do some gym exercises, things like that. You're going to find all kinds of things on this channel. But if you're into theology as an academic or as an interested layperson or a seminary student, someone like that, we're trying to promote physical fitness because, let's face it, while some of us are physically fit, not all of us are. That was me in the last year, 42 years old. About April of last year, I was looking more like that than I do now. And one of the things we've realized is there was a lot of people in our, online theology geek community that looked more like I used to than more fit and healthy like I do now. So that's one of the reasons why we wanted to start this channel, to promote these sorts of things among that community. So you think about what the scripture says. It says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. This is in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. We're asking the question, with what are you to love God? Well, if you look at the New Testament where Jesus cites this passage, you look at Matthew chapter 22, verse 37, it says to him, this is Jesus speaking, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all of your soul, and with all of your mind. Now, if you notice the difference, Jesus shifted from might to mind. However, if you look at the parallel in Luke's Gospel, chapter 10, verse 27, Jesus says, and he answered, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all of your strength, and with all of your mind, and your neighbor as yourself, that being the second greatest commandment, the first being love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So, theology geeks, many of them are like me, to the best that we can. We love God with all of our heart. We love God with all of our soul. We love God with all of our mind. We like to use our minds. We like to dig deep and research and study to show ourselves approved, things like that. But when it comes to loving God with all of our might or strength, for many people who are like me, it's like, what strength, We prefer the citation in Deuteronomy and even Matthew 22:37. We like that version. But when you put all four of those things together, you have to look at the little check boxes, and you can check loving God with all of our heart. Yep, check. All of our soul. Yep, check. All of our mind. Check. Strength, not so much, right? So, especially me, this was true of me, and I'm not saying it's true of everyone in the Theology Geek community. If you look at some of the other contributors to this channel, when they release their videos, they have been and continue to be in good shape, but sadly, a lot of them are like me, so I wasn't loving God with all of my strength. I didn't really have much of it. This was my second visit to the emergency room where I took this picture. And I was 42 at the time, and all the doctors said, if you want to live to see 48, 49, 50th birthday, you're going to have to change your lifestyle. So I had heart issues, blood pressure issues, had cholesterol issues. I had vitamin D deficiency, vitamin C deficiency, all kinds of. I think at one point I had anxiety as well on top of all that. So we're looking at 5 or 6 different medications at one point. Um, so I needed to make a change, and so I decided I was going to finally get my health under control. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 20 says, "For you have been bought with a price, therefore glorify God in your body." Now, I know some theology geeks, the wannabe theology geeks, would stop me right there and say, yeah, but that verse is with respect to fornicating with prostitutes. That's what that's talking about. But the true theology geek, who knows what he's talking about, would reply to the wannabe and say, yeah, are you saying Paul would never affirm that principle with respect to anything else other than fornicating with temple prostitutes? Of course not. See, this is a general principle, glorify God with your body, that he has applied to the specific issue of not being unequally yoked and not having sexual relationships with temple prostitutes and idolatry. But it is not a specific principle about glorifying God with your body, only for that specific issue. We should glorify God in our body in all things generally, and you can apply that to fornicating with temple prostitutes as Paul did. You could also apply that general principle in all other sorts of ways, especially concerning your health, which of course there are health concerns with fornicating with temple prostitutes as well, but you get the point. And then of course a lot of Baptists that I used to hang around, whenever you would talk about getting into shape, like to make a joke about 1 Timothy 4:8, physical exercise profiteth little. They'll always use the King James when they do that, and then they'll get a hearty little chuckle. But if you look at that verse, you see that it's a verse that compares godliness, training in godliness for not just the present but for eternity, whereas physical exercises only profit this side. And you also notice that it does say that there is a little profit there. It's just in comparison to godliness, not as profitable. That's all it's saying. Now, if Paul was comparing, say, eating McDonald's is of little profit, I mean, there is some profit in there, not much, but physical exercise is profitable for now and 10 years from now. See, depends on what you're comparing, how much profit is from one to the thing you're comparing it to. So that verse doesn't really work as a way to knock on physical exercise. And Paul also talks in 1 Corinthians about disciplining his body. You know, we need to be physically disciplined as well as spiritually disciplined. So yeah, we should glorify God in our bodies. And I was living in a way that for years, in a way that did not glorify God with my body. One of the things that theology geeks can get into, and interested laypersons in theology and apologetics and philosophy, is we like to read books. Obviously, I have a lot of books behind me. I have thousands more ebooks on this very computer that I'm recording this. And when you sit down and read a lot, well, you typically grab you some sodas, you grab yourself some chips or snacks. And after a while, that sedentary lifestyle, especially for pastors who do a lot of sermon prep and aren't very active, you know, seminarians who are studying all the time, things like that, you can start to expand in all the wrong ways and eat all the wrong foods while you're reading all the right books, right? So you want to find that balance. One of the things, just a free tip for you, that I like to do when I'm getting some cardio in, when I'm walking or something like that, or whatever it is I'm trying to do, I will listen to either Logos or my Kindle using the VoiceOver app, either on my phone or on my desktop computer, while I try to get some cardio in. That way you can get the intellectual content while you're taking care of your health. I don't do a whole lot of that walking anymore. I show you some cool little gear that I got in future videos, because I get most of my cardio now from a pedal station underneath my desk, that if I can sit here, I'm doing it right now. I'm actually pedaling. which, you think, oh, those are goofy little gizmos, but no, they're actually quite effective. And since I'm not trying to do tons and tons of cardio at the moment, because I'm still on trying to build muscle mass after my weight loss journey, I'm trying to rebuild packing on muscle. This is about all the cardio I'm really interested in getting is this little pedal station. But anyway, I'm trying to glorify God in my body and trying to love the Lord my God with all my strength, as well as my heart, soul, and mind. So I needed to come up with a plan, and so I came up with a real simple plan after, if you're a theology geek, you like to do research, you like to look into things, and of course there's all kinds of weird information out there on the internet, some of it good, most of it not so good. And by the way, I want to give a full disclaimer, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a certified nutritionist. I can point to people that I think are good on that. One of our contributors is a personal trainer, knows a lot more about this stuff than I do. I'm just here to, help encourage, promote, motivate, give some insights into what I've picked up along the way as I lost weight, now that I'm trying to build muscle mass. So I'm not an expert at this, but when I looked at all of the data that I could stand to look at, I realized that you got to have a plan. And it basically came down to this. You got to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound if you're trying to lose weight, which is what I was initially doing. And so I wanted to lose 2, maybe 2.5 pounds a week. So I wanted to do that, something that was sustainable, that even when you calculate that, your body expends more calories the more heavy you are. And as you get lighter, even if you do the same amount of work, you're going to burn fewer calories. So I needed something that I could sustain and get into a habit of doing. So I picked 1,500. And as I lost more and more weight, I probably increased my routine a little bit more and more to burn extra calories to compensate. But I needed a meal plan strategy that was good. And I'll go into more of that in subsequent videos. But basically my plan was 1,500 calories, 6 days a week of healthy eating. And I know that's a general category, but like I said, in future videos, I'll talk about what I meant by eating healthy with one cheat day, and that I would not eat more than 2,000 calories on my cheat day. And as far as exercise go, I would work out 5 days a week. I did and still do a 5-day split. And I would do anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half a day. I say I do a 5-day split. Do a 5-day split for about the first 2/3 of it, and then 1/3 I'll do some total body stuff each day. And while I was trying to lose weight, I would try to get in no less than 6, but average 6 to 8 miles. Sometimes I'd go way beyond 8 miles, but I wouldn't go to bed at night while I was trying to lose weight 7 days a week unless I had 6 miles on my pedometer. So that was my plan. Work out, walk, eat 1,500 calories a day. And I wanted to lose 2 to 2.5 pounds a week, and it's just simple math. Expend energy. Every 3,500 calories will equal 1 pound. So only take in, and if you take in fewer calories than your calorie expenditure, then that'll result in weight loss. And it worked. So this was my starting point, facing the man in the mirror and saying, you've got to do something about this. So that was me in April of 2019, age 42, tired of being in the hospital, tired of feeling like garbage, tired of the lifestyle that I was living that contributed to me feeling like garbage, tired of eating garbage. So there I was. So this, I'm gonna fix this, right? This is who I am. This is what I've done to myself. Own up to it. Say, now it's time to change. So I implemented my plan, 5 days a week workout, 1,500 calories a day, and every day except for on my cheat day, which no more than 2,000 calories, but didn't really care what I ate. And then every day I'm going to get no less than 6 miles. And I need to average between 6 and 8. If I go way beyond that, great. Because cardio is actually, I hate cardio. And so all of my cardio was actually just walking a lot for hours. Because I just don't like treadmills. I don't like exercise bikes. I don't like ellipticals. I don't really like to exercise. I don't like dieting. I liked sitting around and eating junk food, but unfortunately, that's what happens. You see the picture. That's what you get, and you also feel terrible. But it's nice to do that, but you can't do that. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy. It's not glorifying God in your body. So that's where I started, and I implemented my plan. I walked a lot. I had some dumbbells at the house, so I was going to do some exercises. And by the way, you can get a lot of mileage out of just having 3 sets of dumbbells. And so I did that for a couple months. So after the first month, that was me in May with my co-host Braxton Hunter and a Trinity student, Belinda Barreau. Sweet, wonderful lady. She came by the office. One of my favorite students of all time. Anyway, so that was me after a month, right? Not a whole lot of progress there. Wasn't getting my hair cut very often. And look, don't fall for the ads that you can radically change or transform your body in 30 days. If you look like me in that picture or like this picture, and you see an ad where it says transform your body in 30 days, and they have bodybuilding, muscle building, bulky guys that are shredded to pieces in the ad trying to sell you on this program, you're not going to look like that guy. You're not going to look like that guy after 30 days. So don't fall for that nonsense. That nonsense is fiction. I don't care how hard you work, and I don't care how few calories you take in, there's no 30-day plan to transform your body. Did I make some progress? Yeah, I was losing some weight, but it's not very noticeable. Same thing a month later. There's our friends, a picture of me and Braxton with our friends from Illinois, Paul Cooper and his associate pastor at Marshall Baptist Church. They came by the office. We all went to lunch, and I ate less than everyone else because I was in the middle. I was 2 months in. But this is where I decided that my home workout with 3 pairs of dumbbells and doing whatever body weight exercises I could manage was not getting it done. So I joined Planet Fitness. Started working out 5 days there, still doing a 5-day split, but using the machines and the Smith machine and the dumbbells there and all that, going heavier. But yeah, I mean, some improvement, not a whole lot, but was working hard at it, sticking with it. 60 days doesn't get it done. Don't believe any ads that say it will. Didn't get there, but I'm working on it, and it's a grind, you just stick with it. Now by July, this is 90 days into it, you can start to get somewhere. Face is thinning up a little bit. My waist is skimming down a little bit. So after 90 days, I was feeling a lot better. I was in the routine. I was used to not eating much. I was getting up at 5 every day, Monday through Friday, to do my workouts. I was getting my steps in. At this point, it gets easier. It's more routine. Sticking with it. In August, I put the polo and apologetics picture. This was back in August of 2019. In 120 days, you start to notice big changes. Stomach was flattening out. Pants getting way looser, things like that. 120 days, you can see some really good progress. By September of 2019, in 5 months, you'll be very different if you stick with it. I look like a very different person there. And this is where I started to crank up the intensity of my workouts even more, because I was still taking in 1,500 calories, but my expenditure, because I didn't weigh as much as I did, my expenditure was less. So to stay at the 2 pounds, I had to pick it up a little bit. But I didn't want to change my diet because I was eating the same things every day. And even now, I'm eating the same things every day. It's routine. My diet's different. And I'll go into my current diet for my muscle building plan in a subsequent video as well. So there was me in September, and then by October, bam. So in about 6 months or so of hard work, and let me tell you, it is hard work, you can be radically different, right? So there is kind of the end of it. I was on my way there, but that's the final pick. Doing really good there. I was really proud of myself. So from April of 2019 to October of 2019, age 42, I'm 5 foot 8 inches. I went from 220 pounds to 145 pounds, which is a total 75 pounds of weight loss. Radically different. So I'm quite proud of that accomplishment. The abs, all that. Wow, pretty cool. Or at least I thought it was cool. Uh, my wife thinks it's cool, so that's cool too. But there you go. Have some abs. Lost some weight. At 5'8", though, 145 pounds. Uh, Not bulky, not super muscular, but toned and fit. And so it was time to change up. So I wanted to start building. I stayed at that 145 for through the holidays, I think. But then it was like I want to start building muscle mass. That's the next thing. I didn't want to keep losing any more weight, so I wanted to pack on lean muscle mass. So if you fast forward to the present, here in 2020, I'm 43 years old. I'm still 5'8". I haven't grown any taller, of course. And I now weigh 156 pounds. I no longer work out of the gym. I haven't worked out of the gym since quarantine, and I'll explain why in a future video. And I'm still really cut there. So 11 pounds of solid muscle gains. I'm at 156 there. Still, I think today I was touching on 157. Now they said you can pack on 2 pounds a month if you're building muscle, if you're on the higher end, depending on genetics and diet and all these other factors. Except, when you're over 40, it slows down. And of course, I'm over 40, so I'm not gaining 2 pounds a month. I probably could gain 2 pounds a month if I did it the wrong way, because you can gain weight pretty easily the wrong way. But yeah, so I'm on my way there. I want to get up to 160, 165. I don't want to get super bulky bodybuilder. No matter how cut you are, you're still just massive, no shoulders, things like that. And my wife says she doesn't like that. She would prefer me looking like I originally looked before she wants me to look like one of those muscle guys, which disappointing. Yeah, I mean, because that would be awesome, but not gonna go there. Other guys on this channel, they're all about getting bigger and more swole and all that, and they can help you get there, and I'll just have to sit out of that. But I do want to get up to around 165. So I'm still working on that, and I'll go through what I'm doing now in a subsequent video. So to put it all together, basically, and I want to encourage you to just think, if I can do this, I certainly believe that anyone can do this. I was in shape in high school, and I was in shape in my late 20s, early 30s. I'm in better shape now than I've ever been in my life, and I'm certainly more muscular and cut now than I have ever been in my life. But if I can do this, anyone can do this. I don't have the genetics to have abs and all that. It's all hard work, and so all hard work and eating right. They say that abs are made in the kitchen. That's a half truth. Abs are also made by building your ab muscles like you would build any kind of muscles, but your muscles stand out more if you're eating the right kind of foods and staying lean. But to put it all together, with God's grace and hard work and basic math, you can achieve your goals. And what I mean by math is, you've got to figure out how many calories on a daily activity you're going to burn and how many calories you're going to take in. Now, on my weight loss, I wasn't really worried about my macros, of what percentage and how many grams of protein, how many grams of carbs, what percentage of my food is going to be carbs, and what percentage is going to be fats, the healthy fats and things like that. I didn't really worry about that so much. I was just going to eat stuff better than I was eating, and try to burn the weight. And when you are trying to build muscle, though, it gets a little bit different. You got to get a little bit more detailed with not just your caloric intake, which you have to have a net gain of calories over expenditure to build muscle, but you also got to be more serious about your macros. And so I'll get into what I'm doing. And again, what I'm doing for my height, body weight, age, what works for me is not going to work for everybody. But I can give you something general, because like I said, I'm not paying anyone to do this. I'm just using the best knowledge that I have for my nutrition thing. And, It's not hard. When I was losing weight, it's not hard. See, uh, when I was losing weight, I used to use a lot of these either at home or at the office, measuring cups. People are like, oh, I don't want to count calories. I don't want to look at servings. Look, if you have a pot of food and it says, serving 1 cup, X amount of calories, doing this and plopping it on your plate is not hard. So don't whine about measuring cups and portioning your food and all that. It's not hard. It's not a hassle. Doing this is not a hassle, okay? It's not a hassle to just scoop or use whatever measuring cup. It's not hard to read the back of a box and see what the nutrition information. It's not hard, so don't complain about it. If you want to get it done, you got to do some math, you got to do some work, but it becomes habit over time, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, wanting to do it and sticking with it, that's really what's hard. Working out, lifting heavy stuff, doing cool things in the gym, walking around, getting your steps in, getting your cardio in, it's not hard to do. Wanting to do it and wanting to stick with it, even when you're in those early months, like those early pictures where you're not really seeing drastic results, just sticking out, knowing that it's math and science, it's biology, it'll work if you just keep at it. So it just comes down to God's grace to get you through this, hard work, and doing the math. And for theology geeks and interested laypersons who go to church and people who get on the internet and talk about theology, apologetics, even non-Christians, if you debate with Christians, there are people in the non-Christian community that could, especially on the YouTube, and I've seen some of your Facebook pictures, y'all could stand to lose a few pounds too, so you can hang out here as well. But anyone can benefit from this. Hopefully this will get you interested in theology if you're not, but this is really, we're kind of marketing, this channel, kind of carving out a niche for theology geeks, seminarian types, interested laypersons in the church, Sunday school teachers, pastors, Christians who like the deep things of God. And if you can search the deep things of God, if you can study the Trinity, if you can study metaphysics of philosophy, if you can do biblical exegesis, if you can do apologetics and defend the faith, you can achieve your fitness goals. I was able to do it. I'm not exceptional in any sort of way about health and nutrition. I just put in the work, and by God's grace, I got it done, and I think that everyone else can get it done too. So thanks for watching this video. Come back for more videos, future uploads. I will be personally doing some videos about my diet plan, when I was losing weight, my diet plan, now that I'm gaining weight, what my workout routine was when I was losing weight, what muscle building workouts I'm doing now, why not only coronavirus but just preference switched me, where I started at the home with dumbbells and I switched to the gym, and why, well, I'm not even using my dumbbells anymore, but why I've migrated back, partly because of the lockdown, but partly because I stayed there even when the gyms reopened because I really started to like it. Other contributors to the channel, they're gym rats. They think the gym is what works best for them. I'm all for the gym. I started in the gym. I lost most of my weight in the gym. Gyms are awesome. But home gyms for me are more awesome, and that might be the other way around for others, or you may just hate the gym, or you may just hate home gyms. Whatever, we've got something for everybody. People who are into lifting weights, people who are into resistance bands, people who are into body weight, suspension training, CrossFit, all of that kind of stuff. All the contributors were all into different things. We even have cardio nuts, which I'm not. But so I hope that you'll like the videos. I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel, and hope that you can achieve your goals in fitness so that you can glorify God in your bodies. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care, and God bless.